It now becomes the duty of the court to impose sentence in this case, and that is to see that this defendant never again has the opportunity to walk the streets of our community as a free man.
Hello, my name is Paco Rivera, and this is the Maximum Sentence channel, where we discuss recent crimes and convictions and the maximum penalty handed down. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. 35-year-old Rachel King was a beloved elementary school teacher in the city of Philadelphia. She taught at the Grover Cleveland Charter School for 10 years. Rachel was a very devoted single mom, raising her 11-year-old son, Jalin. Her father is a reverend who, along with Rachel's mom, Carol King, had provided a good, well-respected, and loving family. Rachel had also been dating a man named William Hayes for several years. William, however, had begun a brief affair with a woman named Julie Jean that began in the year 2022, but William broke off the affair 10 months later, now early 2023, and reconciled with Rachel and remained with her. It was not long after that Julie Jean, who refused to move on with her life without William Hayes, had begun harassing both William and his girlfriend Rachel for weeks with a bombardment of phone calls, text messages, and by following and stalking them around town. Things got so bad that William had to file for a protection order, a restraining order, against Julie Jean. It was then that Julie Jean began frequent communications with a drug user and homeless man named Zakkee Steven Alhakim, who also happens to be the cousin of the father of Julie Jean's children. And for nearly 2 months, Julie Jean, as the mastermind, and Zakkee Alhakim began plotting the murder of Julie Jean's rival in the love triangle. It may be safe to say that her plan was to eliminate her competition, so to speak, so that she can work her way back into the life of William Hayes. Julie Jean bought a 2003 silver Mercury Sable at a car dealership. It was learned that Al-Hakim was with her when she bought the car for $1,500. Jean also got a hold of a ghost gun, basically a gun put together with pieces from a kit, and such a gun would not be registered or contain serial numbers. Julie Jean then let Al-Hakim take the car and the gun. During the time that followed, Julie Jean sent text messages to Al-Hakim's cell phone with photos of Rachel King that were grabbed from Rachel's Facebook, and pictures of Rachel's house, which was circled in the photo with directions on how to get there. In one photo, it is seen that Julie Jean was holding up her cell phone, showing Al-Hakim a picture of Rachel King. Then Zakkee Alhakim, using his cell phone, took a picture of Julie Jean's cell phone screen. Her hand can be seen in that picture, and it was later positively identified by forensic analysts as Julie Jean's hand and Julie Jean's cell phone. Surveillance video later obtained by investigators show that Mercury Sable, surely driven by Al-Hakim, driving the route to Rachel King's home several times, and this went on for several days. GPS data later recovered from Al-Hakim's cell phone showed that his cell phone was in the car during that time. Now, on April 7th, 2023, surveillance video shows that same silver Mercury Sable outside a store on Broad Street in Philadelphia, where a 36-year-old man named James Chris Farrell was shot and killed. That murder actually happened one day before Chris Farrell's birthday. He would have turned 36 the next day. Descriptions provided by witnesses of the shooter matched that of Zakkee Alhakim. Police did recover spent bullet casings at that location where Chris Farrell was killed. 4 days later, on Tuesday, April 11th, Rachel King and her son Jalin left the house. Rachel was taking her son to his violin lessons, something he does every Tuesday morning. What Rachel did not know was that Zakkee Alhakim was sitting in a parked silver Mercury Sable outside, waiting for her to come out of the house. On the way to Jalin's violin practice, they decided to stop at a Dunkin Donuts at the Melrose Shopping Center in Cheltenham, Pennsylvania. Zakkee Alhakim had followed them there. He parked the car nearby, a car that belongs to Julie Jean, and got out. He walked over to the driver's side window of Rachel's car, and with her 11-year-old son, horrified, in the back seat, proceeded to shoot 6 times through the window at Rachel King's head. Jalin was not harmed by the gunfire.
And it was those officers that discovered that 11-year-old boy in the back seat. He was hysterical. The jury saw that video of this little boy saying he just came up and started shooting.
Investigators retrieved bullet caliber casings at the crime scene. They also captured from surveillance cameras several photos of the silver Mercury Sable that fled the scene and distributed the photos to police. A patrol unit spotted the car later that evening, the same day Rachel King was killed, and a high-speed chase ensued. The car crashed into a fence and Zakkee Alhakim was arrested. Inside the car, several spent bullet casings were recovered, but the gun, to this day, was never found. Now, here is the story that Alhakim gave investigators when he was first questioned. He said that he was nowhere near Cheltenham that morning, and that he had loaned his car to a friend named Tizzy the night before, and he had just gotten the car back when police stopped him. Well, he had to be chased before he was stopped. But anyway, investigators were able to quickly dispute that story, that someone else had the car at the time of the murder. Later, forensics determined that the casings found in the car not only matched the ones found outside Rachel King's car at Dunkin Donuts, but also positively matched the casings from the murder of another man in Philadelphia 4 days earlier. Alhakim would later be charged with both murders.
Our lives have been turned upside down. Things will never be the same for us.
And anyone that knew my daughter loved my daughter.
Now, police want to know, what was Alhakim's connection to the school teacher, Rachel King? And why did he target her and kill her? They didn't know. But his cell phone, did reveal some coded type messages between him and a woman named Julie Jean, who would have become a person of interest anyway, since a protection order was issued for her to stay away from Rachel and Rachel's boyfriend William. On the following day, April 12th of last year, 2023, investigators arrived at the home of Julie Jean to question her. Now, this is very interesting. Detectives would later confiscate Julie Jean's cell phone with a court-ordered search warrant, and it was examined forensically. They learned that Julie Jean had deleted a total of 787 text messages from her phone, just 13 minutes before detectives arrived at her house on the 12th to question her. Once investigators had all those messages, it wouldn't be difficult to piece together the plot and gather all the evidence they needed to get a conviction for both Julie Jean and Zakkee Alhakim for the murder of Rachel King, a woman that neither Julie Jean nor the hitman, Alhakim, had ever met personally. And this past month, in March, Both Alhakim and Julie Jean were in fact convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. It had only taken a jury 52 minutes to deliberate and reach that verdict.
It only took less than an hour for a Montgomery County jury to convict the pair accused of a murder-for-hire plot of that beloved Philadelphia teacher. They were not only found guilty, but immediately sentenced to life in prison.
A trial for Zakkee Alhakim for the murder of Chris Farrell is still pending. Rachel's parents and family attended the trial for both Julie Jean and Zakkee Alhakim each day, and later told reporters that it was a very difficult process to endure, seeing and hearing what happened to Rachel and what Rachel's 11-year-old son went through. They were grateful, however, to the court system for seeing justice done for Rachel.
We are so thankful for all the hard work that paid off by everyone in this department. The DA's office, just incredible. We're thankful to God for just giving us the strength to go through this.
My daughter is gone. This does not bring her back. We're glad to have memories of her, but my heart grieves, aches.
Please remember to subscribe for more of these true crime stories so that you're alerted when the next one comes out. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. I'm Paco Rivera. Take care and bye for now.